I've been inspired to write a book called the Book of Duh, because it's so obvious. It's so obvious what we came here to do. And the obvious is what's going to transform our lives and transform this world and save us. This is a book about the obvious that can really change your life. You want to be the love that you are and make a difference in the world and help the world be a better place. We need to embrace the obvious so that it brings us all together. And we can turn this boat around, this humanity that seems to be going off a cliff. So are you ready to have the life of your dreams? Are you really ready to be what you came here to do? Turn the page to open the book. The research is in. Science has shown us the way. What are they saying? It's showing us the way. One of the levels is something that HeartMath in Boulder Creek, California, has been coming up and doing the research. When you're in your heart with a sense of gratitude, you create 1,300 chemicals that restore and rejuvenate and heal your body. That doesn't sound so bad, right? Now, more research along that lines is that when you're in your heart with a sense of gratitude, within 10 minutes, your immune system gets 50% stronger, which is amazing. It's been heard of in the scientific world. And it lasts for about 6 hours. So being in your heart is going to help you be healthier and protect you from disease. That's not so bad. And when you're in your heart with a sense of gratitude and appreciation, you turn off the negative genes, the negative parts of your genes that cause cancer, Alzheimer's, heart disease, diabetes, you name it. Okay, so that when you're in your heart, you're more of an expression of health. Again, another level. And when you're in your heart, especially for you ladies, you turn on the DHEA hormone 100% more than what you normally have, at least 100%. And so then all your hormones to get better. And you turn down the stress hormone. With just doing this meditation, just focusing on your heart, breathing slow and deep. Just for 10 minutes, your cortisol goes down 20%. You become more relaxed and at peace. So the real information that really makes a difference is that when you're in your heart and you really stay there for a period, to really focus, you really get that focus strong. So you really stay there with gratitude and appreciation, that your brain becomes an extension of your heart. And the thinking begins to stop. All the stories about trauma, all the reactions about trauma, all these neural networks related to your experiences of trauma that are hooked together, that are causing you to keep reliving these experiences, melt away when you're in heart coherence and you can stay there. And you experience immunity. It's like you experience what the spiritual masters say is enlightenment when you're really in your heart coherence. So the science is in. To be healthy is to be in your heart, is to be developing heart coherence, be developing the connection between your heart and your mind in gratitude and love. So that's the new paradigm for health. To be healthy is to do that. To stay healthy is to do that. To heal yourself is to do that. Joe Dispenza is coming up with person after person that focuses on gratitude in your meditations over and over again and see themselves being healed, see themselves in a positive way. And people with cancer and depression and we're just had to go through the most horrendous experiences of their lives that you could imagine anybody to go through, it's gone. And they're happy. Because they were able to reach deep within themselves and cultivate that heart coherence so it becomes a way of life. So the new paradigm for the way of life, to live, is heart coherence, which is really another word for just to be the love that you are. So the new paradigm for relationship, heart coherence, to be developing that connection between the heart and the brain too. But it's not so easy because we have so many stress patterns in our brain that keep us coming up into our brain and reaction patterns. So the trick is to learn how to let go of these stress patterns, to transform these neural networks in our brain, these neuroplasticity places that are stuck, to begin to create new patterns through heart coherence, of feeling at peace and joy and happiness. And that's what this is all about, this life. That's what this class is all about. So if that's what it's all about, doesn't it make sense that we start coming together and cultivating doing this and help each other to do this? Are you ready to do this? Are you ready to really wake up, to do what you came here to do? Let's do this thing. Let's do it. I'd like you to join me. Because it's not me. It's us. I'd like you to join us. I'd like you to join you, because that's who you are. And Martin Luther King said, I have a dream. And this dream is for people to be getting along, for the black kids to be able to get along with the white kids, and but it's not his dream. It's our dream. It's our dream, so that people are housed, and people are fed, and people are loved, and people are cared for, because we're all one. And everybody is a part of me. So let's come together and create more peace in the world and create a better world.
Yeah.
So, sign up.
I'll let you know that it's...
To really begin to embrace what's happening here is to realize that you're unlearning. You're not learning.
Yeah.
You're not learning, you're unlearning.
What I felt was I was getting the words of what I already know.
Yeah.
That was the neat part about learning, is learning to really have some thought forms in my head about stuff I already knew.
Yeah.
But I just didn't have them. You have them in a way that's helping me. Those words help me to define what I'm already going through.
Yeah, they help to make the energetic distinctions.
Yeah.
When those words that
Yeah, because I just have this feeling, and you're putting words to it that I just couldn't do. And I think that's what teachers do for you. They help you with your own work. You're doing your own work, but they are helping you to do that work by giving you those words, those ways to focus, certain practices and things like that. And
Well, on another level, what I'm really aspiring to do is to do our work. And it's not about me. It's about.
That's good that you feel that way.
It's about what we came here to do,
Yeah.
and it's about waking up to and assisting other people to wake up to to the love that they are, the oneness that they are. And that when enough of us do that, then this world is going to change. And
Like you say, just hanging around doing it will affect others.
But as you saw, when you're in a positive space and you're connected, the other person gets more relaxed and everything. And so if you do that everywhere you go, you're going to have an effect with people everywhere you go. And with the vision, people coming together and really anchoring who they are into their being and going out in the world, and that changes the world. And with the idea of really getting the joy of who we are, so that we begin to spread joy, to begin an epidemic of joy and happiness, and to really begin to experience it as in creating an epidemic, to really do that. And to gather other people together to do that.
Yeah, because our energy can be very strong.
Yeah.
There's a lot of us. Our energy
Yeah.
can be very powerful. Yeah.
And that helps us to transform. And more, something we haven't gotten into yet is like, I didn't want to start doing this until we really access the connection to the force. The force is with us. We are the force. And to get in touch with it. So we're getting in touch with being the earth and the force of the earth, okay? The next thing is to get in touch with our awareness of being the universe. And being the universe looking out on itself for real, like with the earth for real. And then to begin to, when we're with each other and somebody's having an issue, you access the energy of the earth and the heavens, and you allow that to go through you from your heart as something that magnifies that energy, so that there's a healing force that goes through you, and you help other people to hear with your intention, your thought, and your, the energy from you, and it can be from the energy from your hand too.
Yeah. The class inspired me to practice that with someone
Yeah.
who's going through it. I think I told you about it.
Yeah.
And it seemed, she said she could feel it.
Yeah.
And I hadn't even practiced much.
Just
But I was just tuning in my feeling for her, wanting good things to happen for her.
and she
could
felt
feel
it. She felt calmer, and
Yeah. And she was very upset and very scared.
Yeah.
And then she said that she could feel.
So in that way,
So I can keep practicing
Yeah.
that.
Again, that way you become a healer to the world, everyone you're with.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Especially
to myself.
Well, that's
That's the beauty of it.
That's
is that
the,
we're healing ourselves or healing everyone around us. Because I just had a massage person. I said, I can heal the world by doing this. She said, and heal yourself. And I went, oh, yeah, that's right.
Well, and we're all connected, so everybody is ourselves at one level. So
Yeah, I know. That's why I thought of it like, okay, duh. Duh, but still.
So I want to share something. I want to share something that happens with me. That when I teach this stuff, it's like a reminder to me. It helps me to be more, to embrace more of the earth, to be more in my heart. So it just helps me so much in my own process to teach this.
Yes.
To remind me, duh.
Yeah, that's what teachers say.
Yeah.
They learn from their students.
Well, yeah. Not only that, I learned from the experience of doing the teaching
Doing it.
to remind myself.
Yeah, it becomes more
I
strong.
think that's the new paradigm to the world, that we're all teaching each other. Like, I just had that popped up for me, a strong memory of, I also lived in a Zen monastery and a Tibetan Buddhist monastery, actually. And what was like my biggest takeaway from that one experience was like that the people who were teaching were like, they were fairly close to enlightenment, relatively anyway, and it just kept generating and flowering. But the people who had come as students, like the shadow was starting to emerge of, they were escaping the world and they wanted to just receive. And like they were not really growing, but the teachers were growing. And I was like, and I thought, because this is a very small community, very isolated. And I thought, this is the paradigm that needs to change. And I think we're changing it. Mm-hmm. On that note, maybe we want to have, it could be any social platform, but like just say a Facebook group. So where I might normally just be journaling myself or sharing with my partner Valerie or whatever, like we could just populate it into the field that's online to keep things going. So if somebody has like a story or an insight or a gratitude or whatever, we can just share it there. So that there's more of that teaching and learning happening.
Yeah, I was
Absolutely.
figuring
That's
you
one
would
of the
think
next
of
steps.
that.
So one of the things that I want to do soon here, I have a coach that I'm working with, and he said, "You're ready. Step out there. Start creating classes and get it going."
That's what made you
and so
motivated to do
I'm
it.
going, "Oh, yeah, wow, yeah." Because this has been a challenge for me.
It's supposed to be symbolically love. The color, the rose quartz is supposed to be about love. And I can feel that. I'm actually sometimes not, I'm going to try to do it without it. And then when I pick up the heart, just almost right away.
So these are quartz crystal hearts. I want you to have one here too.
Show your hand.
Quick. There we go.
So the story behind the rose quartz crystal is that it helps people to feel the love in their heart, to imbue themselves with love, to attract love, to be the love. You hold it and you can feel the energy going right to your heart. All crystals have different healing qualities to them. This one, the healing quality, it goes right to the heart.
Yes.
Goes right to the heart. It's really amazing.
Sometimes if you can't tune into your heart, the crystal
It'll
helps.
help, yeah. It'll help, yeah.
It's really feels like a magic wand or something. So I'll pick it up. and-
So you're becoming anchored to it too. So
Yeah.
the idea with an anchor is that you take an experience to a peak feeling, and then you do something like you squeeze the heart or you pick up the heart.
I like
So
when they
you-
say thank you.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So you can have the heart and you go, thank you, and you squeeze it. And you go, thank you, and you
I'm
squeeze it.
thanking for that
Yes,
love
and
feeling.
squeeze it.
Yay.
There's something called anchoring, which was developed by neuro-linguistic programming. What happens, and it happens all the time, is that we have an experience, maybe we're listening to a song and we fell in love with somebody and that was our song. And then every time that song comes on, oh, that feeling of love comes back and it's like you're back there feeling a lot of the same kind of feelings. Well, that song becomes an anchor. That song anchored that feeling. So that song's associated with that feeling, so that every time that song comes on, it stimulates Pavlov's dog. Instead of saliva, you feel good with the song. And instead of ringing your bell, you have that song. And almost anything can be an anchor that's associated with whatever the experience that you're having. And then you can create an experience, a creative feeling, and then anchor it. Create a feeling and anchor it. And then you create the feeling, access the feeling, and the stronger you make the feeling, and you do the anchor at the peak of that strength, and you do that over and over again, you do that every day, then every time you say, and you anchor the feeling of love to this. You anchor the feeling of your heart and coherence. You anchor the feeling of gratitude to this, to this, and you squeeze it. Every time you squeeze it, you think of gratitude, you think of your heart, you think of good things, you breathe slow and deep, and you breathe and you feel so good, you feel really good. You remember a time that you really felt loved, or you felt good, or you felt wonderful, and pull, you squeeze it. And then later on, while you're just walking around, you're squeezing, oh, wow, hey, I feel better, It's because just like that song, when that song comes on, you feel better. Every time you squeeze this, you feel better. But you can do it with other things too. You can do it with anything. You can do it with the word, any kind of word. You can do it with thank you. This is more kinesthetic. So some people are more kinesthetic and that works better. And some people are more auditory. That works better for them. And so you can say thank you, and you put the two together, and it makes a stronger anchor because you're using more aspects of your senses. So the more senses you put to an anchor, and the stronger the experience is, and you anchor them, so then when you ever use any of those anchors, which would be something like thank you or a color, yeah, that's another one, the visual. You can use an image or a color. Color is really neat. One of the things we've been doing is connecting with your heart light, feeling your heart light, giving you that love in your heart of color. So you get that love in your heart of color, and you really feel that love in your body. You really feel it. Ooh, that was good. Okay. And then you really feel, I was with that doggy, and it felt so good, and he was licking me, and it just looking into his eyes, and it just felt so good. She's looking at me, well, that felt so good. Boom. And you do that, or maybe even do that when the dog is around, and you anchor right when that's there. So every time, and you say thank you, and you have a color, You have a color of love, so then you use the color, you use thank you, you use this all at the same time, and that makes that experience stronger. Anytime you want, you can gather the reaction of that in your being, a conditioned response. You can condition yourself to the holding this, to the thank you or word and a color, and you put those three together so that you, anytime you want, you can bring that feeling or whatever that you're wanting, whether it's confidence, whether it's love in your heart, whether it's feeling thankful, whether it's being grounded. So the next thing is to add this to being grounded. We did this before with being in our hearts. And the idea is to keep doing it, to do it at least a few times a week where you really, maybe even put on the song and you just really feel this love in your heart and go, yes! And you can make a movement upwards, which is really powerful, that you create more oxytocin when you have your arms up. That's physiology. That's science. So you put your arms up and then you do an anchor. Yes! Then you have that feeling. Yes! And with that feeling of whatever you want, it could be anything, feeling gratitude, feeling that love, feeling that coherence. Yes! Seeing yourself being more that love in your life. Yes! Seeing yourself in the times that you were stressed and you weren't able to be in that heart coherence, and then you're going to change that and be that in your imagination in that time that you weren't, but you are redoing the neural networks in your mind by changing that experience in your mind to, yes, feeling really good, yes, being grounded, yes, feeling loving in that time that you weren't. And that begins to change the neural network so that it makes it easier when that time comes around again, that you're going to be in your heart, more grounded, more at peace, less reactive. So that's one of the ways to begin to go from here to here, to begin to condition ourselves to come back home. Yeah. Just, you have a question?
From the homework, I have felt particularly powerful both at the beginning of the day, thinking of things that might happen and like tuning in with heart coherence around those possibilities. And at the end of the day, when I forgot to be in heart coherence, just doing it now in the present moment and re-experiencing those particular moments as in heart coherence. And it's been super, super powerful and like beyond the assignment, because it's giving me more of a feeling of just the illusion of time in a certain sense. That the present moment is where everything happens, but yet we've all been conditioned to think of time as linear and everything is either back there and there's so many regrets, or in the front and there's trepidation or worry potentially. And it's all here, and you can even still like loop it back to the present moment. It's really like this huge, powerful breakthrough thing for me.
So you found yourself less stressing, right?
Yeah.
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 So you're stressing less, feeling a little more calm and at peace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because I could even say that like the past and the future are becoming less, I'm less interested in them. Like they're less potent for me. Like increasingly what I really care about and where my attention is now.
There's more power in that.
Yeah, yeah. It's the only place that exists, really. The rest of it is all in the mind. It's all projection. Yeah.
You're coming home.
Yeah.
Yay! I'm coming home.